Are the wheels coming off the economy? Now let's just stop for a minute. We've had Q1, obviously, all caught off guard. Inflation seemed to tick back up. The jobs number coming in good. Rates were pretty good. Then they start ticking up. And we're like, here we go again. Are we just going to be doomed? Are rates going to go higher? Is inflation out of control? The Fed just told us in December they're going to cut 3 times. Now they're regretting saying that. Every economist, everybody's like, what is going on? We keep printing money. We keep spending money we don't have. But last week, the week before, we started seeing a change. People were saying maybe that was just a transitory thing. Maybe that was a one-off quarter. We really don't know because moving forward, the data can change. Because we do know by now the amount of money that is in this economy that's swirling around is way more than anybody has predicted. Anybody. Because we've never printed that much money and gave it to people, businesses. Don't pay your rent, don't pay your car payment, pay you to sit at home, lock-in effect, come out. Like we've never experienced this. Cash out refis, business exodus, cash out in the business, cash out refinances, lowest mortgage rates, lowest payments, HELOCs, rack up the credit card. Wage growth is going up. Are you guys understanding? Like we've never experienced all this growth. But then we got to ask ourselves, wait a minute, the data's starting to change. The retail sales are down. You're starting to hear people go shakiness in the job report. So are the wheels starting to slowly fall off this economic car? Are we starting to see inflation really going to cool here? Are we starting to see job losses mount up? Are we seeing delinquencies in car and credit cards rise? Think about that. We're at full employment, according to the government. The economy is doing really well, according to the government economists, but we're starting to see delinquencies tick up. Rates tick up, people don't want to buy homes. The commercial market, oh my gosh. That market is a depression, a recession, it's dead. 70, 75, 80% down in transactions. It's terrible. In other markets that have over-regulation and wealth taxes and rent control and all this, they're even worse. There's some markets that even with these high rates are more on fire. But what are we really seeing with the economy? We're starting to see slowdown. So if we look out and this slowdown continues, where does this get us? How bad could it get? How fast could it get bad? You got to remember, if you go back to 2008, not that like this is a 2008, I'm just saying is things unraveled quickly. The 10-year treasury literally went from, peaking to 5 and it went down to, I think, 250, 300 basis points within 6 to 9 months because the economy started to unravel. So are we going to be sitting here where we're going to start seeing that job loss recession? We don't want a recession, but it looks like we're going to get one. If things are going to get worse with people losing their job, how are more people going to afford the credit card bill? How are they going to get out of this mess? Because if credit cards were like this and people are delinquent now, what happens when the economy gets worse? What happens when they lose their job? How are they going to make their payments then if they cannot make them now? These are all the things that we have to look at, we have to understand, because let's be honest, when the wheels fall off the economy, are the Feds just going to start cutting rates quickly? Is it going to be too late? Is it going to be an overreaction? I think so. This Fed is notorious for being late. They're notorious for overreacting. They're notorious for missing the mark, missing it big time. They're notorious from over speculating and under speculating. We're living in it. We're living proof right now of this. From the 2021, where they probably should have, in 2021 June, where that CPI hit, started slowing it down. So are we on a new trajectory where we're going to start seeing the economy slow, the economy shift? We're going to start seeing the job market shift, because what the Fed really is going to be focusing on is the economy, but they're also really, really watching is jobs. And typically in a cycle, we would have lost millions of jobs. That would have been in the construction sector. But remember, multifamily still, it's not growing. They're still constructing. Single family still constructing. That hasn't stopped. The government has big infrastructure. They can keep hiring constructor workers. So there's a lot of things going on in the economy that are propping this up. There's still stimulus money. It is. Where's all this money going? There's still people going to get HELOCs on their houses as we speak today, right now, that have all this equity. They're going to tap that money. That's going to keep going back into the economy. They're going to keep up this money spending, printing. I'm hearing stories from friends, people refining off $200,000, $100,000, $50,000, $80,000, all this credit card debt, and then that's going to get racked off. Are these people taking lines of credit out to keep spending? I'm going on this rant. I'm going on this hypotheses of, where are we going to land here, folks, when the economy gets worse? Well, if you're in real estate, one of the things that's going to happen is they're going to cut rates. And rates are going to go lower because that is what happens in a recession. That is what happens when the Fed pivots. And that is naturally what happens when you need to get people and the economy moving, you lower rates. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Kenny Simpson, and welcome. It's another week where we dive into the data, dive into what is going on, try to make sense of all the stuff out there, throw some fun stuff in there, throw some not so fun stuff there, but try to break it down so you, while you watch this and I read all this stuff, we're trying to figure out what is going on in the economy, what's going on in the market, what is affecting rates, housing, and all that good stuff. Some fun facts, some fun tips. What are first-time home buyers thinking? Maybe what are economists thinking? Where do we look out? Some pain points, but if this is the first time watching, welcome. My name is Kenny Simpson. I focus on 1 to 4 unit financing. Been doing this about 20 years. Helped over 5,000 clients, funded billions of dollars of loans. And if this is your 50th, 100th time back, I appreciate you watching. But let me stop for a minute and say, hey, look, share this video with somebody that might use it. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Kenny Simpson, and welcome. It's another week where we dive into the data, dive into what is going on, try to make sense of all the stuff out there, throw some fun stuff in there, throw some not so fun stuff there, but try to break it down so you, while you watch this and I read all this stuff, we're trying to figure out what is going on in the economy, what's going on in the market, what is affecting rates, housing, and all that good stuff. Some fun facts, some fun tips. What are first-time home buyers thinking? Maybe what are economists thinking? Where do we look out? Some pain points, but if this is the first time watching, welcome. My name is Kenny Simpson. I focus on 1 to 4 unit financing. Been doing this about 20 years. Helped over 5,000 clients, funded billions of dollars of loans. And if this is your 50th, 100th time back, I appreciate you watching. But let me stop for a minute and say, hey, look, share this video with somebody that might use it. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate it, guys. Love all you guys. Love the support to the channel. Love the support to my videos. I will keep producing, because we all need to know what is going on, and I need to know what's going on, and I need to share what's going on to you guys so you can help you make decisions, whether you're buying a home, refining a home, buying investment property, or sitting back, renting and waiting and saying, is this the time I want to do it now? What's going on out there? So in the big banking world, folks like Jamie Dimon and that, they are throwing caution to the wind. I'm not going to get into the technicalities because you're trying to understand what I'm saying. So if I mention a Basel III, if you hear it, you might be like, what the hell is that? Is that the Art Basel in Miami? No, that's not the Art Basel in Miami. It's not that cool. Basically, what Basel III means, let's just call it regulating more of the big banks. So that means they want the banks to keep more liquidity on hand. I'm not a banker. I'm not a politician. I'm not this governing body of the banks. I don't run a big bank. I'm in this business. They want more liquidity. I'm going to say, when I've heard the top 5, 6, 7, 10 bankers say, I don't like this law, this is stupid, we don't need it, I'm going to go with them and say, it sounds like an overregulation. What would that mean for you? Basically, if they pass this, that means if you go to the bank, they're going to have to charge you more money to get a loan. That's what it means. And Jamie Dimon says, this is ridiculous and it's all unnecessary and overreach, and they should just leave them alone. But it sounds like this might pass, which is not going to be good for the consumer. So they're going to pass things that are going to make it more expensive for you to get a loan when it's already more expensive. Did you hear what I said? So they're going to pass more regulation. When we got all this regulation, it's going to cost you more money because the banks will pass it on to you. No, my friends, they will not eat it. They will just pass it to you and you can eat the fee. Isn't that wonderful? No, it's not. So what happens if we have a recession? No, honestly, what happens if we have a recession? We know rates go down. We know people lose jobs. We know consumer confidence will go down. We know delinquencies on credit cards, car payments, house payments, boat payments, all those fun payments you have, delinquencies will rise. We know eventually if there is a recession, job loss recession, eventually in years, that will stack up. Either we'll have more short sales and foreclosures. That will happen, business fail, bankruptcies go up. But overall, is that going to crash the housing market? Is it really going to be a flight to cash? Will people have to sell to flight to cash, then go rent? So typically in a recession, housing could go down, rates normally go down, maybe gasoline and food prices, and when you go out to eat, maybe those will go down. Maybe in places like California, they won't because we have to pay the minimum wages. I don't know. Will we see a price reset on a lot of stuff? I don't know. Will rents go down? It could. So recessions are interesting. Some are deep, some are wide, some are shallow. That's why they call it a hard landing, a soft landing, and no landing. We're definitely going to land. So are we going to have a soft or hard? They're trying to land the plane and have a soft landing. So it's very hard to do. But if they drop those rates, that does spur up the economy. But is that really what we need for housing, is super low rates? Yeah, it would help a lot of people out, help commercial out. But then are you having a problem on the other side? I don't know. Inflation was low for a long, long time, and we avoided a recession since '08. We should have probably had one, but the good old government giving money out like candy, that doesn't help. So we will see what happens. So this last week, retail sales came in weaker, which you don't know. That just means the consumer's slowing down. We don't need to get more into detail about that, but just it is. The other thing I'm hearing out there are rents across the nation are becoming flat. So that means they were counting that inflationary rent payments were going up. Now they're going flat, or they're losing steam in some markets. Auto insurance has been a big topic because they jacked auto insurance like home insurance. Remember, that is inflation, but that doesn't mean auto insurance is going to go up 20% every year. So it could be a one-time thing. So we're starting to get past all these one-timer things, or this happened or that happened. So on the second half of this year, we will start seeing that data come in, which should result in help rates, things like that, but inflation coming down. Home builders are starting to pull back, starting to slow down just a little bit. Apartment building is really, really down. They're going to finish their projects, so you might get some good rent. So renters might get relief because there'll be more product on the market, so you can go get yourself a nice lease for a year or two, lock in. But eventually what's going to happen is they're going to not build enough. Those will all get leased up, and then we'll have a supply-demand problem again, and then rents will go back up. Isn't that lovely? Because interest rates are, to borrow money to build, probably anywhere from 9, 10, 11, 12+%. Loan to cost sucks. So as construction loans are not great out there, nobody wants to build anything. So we're just going to sit here on land and wait. And then eventually they'll start building, but that product could not come on the market till 2030, maybe. So when you get through everything in 25 and 26, then you're done. And then there's nothing coming on the market, 27, 28, 29, or not enough. Then rents will go up and we have the same problem. So that's how it works. Isn't that just exciting? So 4 key strategies in today's market of how to win that deal, how to get that house. Let's go through. In this article, there's 4. I like this. Personalized offer. Okay. Number 1 is some markets used to be able to write this. We're moving in here because I love this house and the family. You can see my family in it, and we're in the military, or I'm a single mom, or we just love the neighborhood, or it's near our favorite schools and we just love your home, blah, blah, blah. Some markets are still allowed to have those personalized letters. Others are not. But what if you cannot write a personal letter? What else would you do? How do you personalize it? Well, number 1, work with a real estate agent that knows a lot of people. They might have a personal connection to that listing agent. Number 2, have your lender, whether they know them or not, call them up. Oh my gosh, Jack and Mary, they're fall strong. We can close in 10 days, 15 days. They're going to move contingencies fast. We're going to order the appraisal fast. We close this loan fast, this loan fast, this loan fast. Like show them confidence. So personalize things by calling them and reaching out. And that's one way to do it. Show you care, not just write an offer and then nobody calls, nobody, gets involved. That's number 1. Number 2, be flexible. What does that mean? Hey, oh, you want to rent back for free for 30 days? Okay, we can do that. Oh, hey, you want me to close faster or do this, remove contingencies faster? Okay, cool. You want me to remove loan contingencies? Can I do that? Let me work with my lender. Let me get a little bit deeper dive with my lender. Maybe make sure I can do that. Be flexible. Be negotiable. Try to fit their needs, not your needs, because you want to know what the seller's needs are and then back into that and maybe you can meet those needs. Number 3, don't hesitate. For example, if you need to be ready. Like I tell people, when you give me your stuff and I give you a pre-approval, that means you're ready tomorrow to write an offer and close in 15 days. Are you ready to do that? If not, then don't look at houses, especially here in a San Diego, because you're got to be able to write an offer in 15-day close and maybe a 7-day contingency. You're like, that's too much. Okay. But if you're playing in the game of today's market, that's too much, might not work for you. So no hesitating, ready to strike, ready to show that confidence, ready to close, ready to make it happen, ready to pull the trigger, lock the loan, let's go. And 4, last but not least, for goodness sakes, don't ever give up. Yes, you might have lost out on 4 or 5 homes. What do you need to do? Change the strategy. Can we get a TBD? That means can we pre-underwrite your file where you remove loan contingencies on that offer? Can you shorten your loan contingencies? Can you close faster? Can you be more accommodating to the seller? Don't give up. Keep fighting to get a house. You will get one. It will help if you work with the right team. That's why I love this article. Great, great, great stuff. Love it. So this other article, this is kind of funny. The title's a little bit maybe insulting for some of you, but I didn't take all 21 because honestly, nor do I agree with all of them, nor do I care. I just took, 5 or 6 of them thought I'd share. So 21 dumbest things we keep spending money on. And I know a lot of you are going to say this or that or this, but I just picked some that I thought were obviously like top of mind. I thought good. Number one, online shopping. I used to think you go to Amazon, it has the best prices. Then I realized, no, there's Walmart, there's Target, there's other places. So don't just go to one site and think you're going to get the best deal. Shop around because you will save money. Another one I loved is auto insurance. Yes, we just talked on this video, auto insurance has gone up 22%. They decided to wait till after the pandemic and then whack us all in 1 year. Here's the thing about auto insurance, which you might not know. Number one, are you leasing or buying? Number two, do you not drive your car? Maybe you're getting on insurance. You're like, I don't even drive that much. I drive like 500 miles a month. Maybe you can lower it. Oh, bundle it with your house. Oh, okay. Maybe you're in the military. Maybe you're a senior. Maybe you're a student. Maybe you can get you have a good driving record. Make sure you're telling them all this stuff. Make sure you're pushing back and shopping. Get an insurance broker to help you with all this stuff out. So auto insurance, how to get the best rate. Don't get tickets, but also negotiate, push back, make sure they're addressing everything you have, bundle the policies. Maybe you have a car that you only barely drive a little bit and that gives you a better rate, you know? So keep that stuff in mind. Another one that I really liked, lottery tickets. I've never bought a lottery ticket in my life, never have, never probably will, even on the big ones. But a lot of people spend a lot of their money, hard-earned money on lottery tickets. It's a complete utter waste, and the chance of winning are slim to none. If you want to do it because you want to win, kudos to the guys that won $1 billion. Say, hey, Kenny, I would have never won if I played. I got it, but you're a rarity. But if you're trying to cut back to save money for a house or something else, cut the lottery tickets. Another one, energy bill. Okay, this one is crazy. We can go all over. But number one, if you buy a house, if you rent a house, if you're renting, you need to make sure that your landlord owner has put in all LED lighting. You need to make sure that they've had their heater, their AC, any equipment like that. They've had this checked up, the filters, all that. It's not overrunning. It's not a problem. It's running efficiently. Like you could have a unit that's messed up that needs to be tweaked and can run more efficiently. Obviously, if you're renting somewhere and there's maybe not insulation in the ceiling, you should go ahead and ask about that. That could literally drop your bill 50%. So electricity, just think common sense, energy efficient. Appliances, maybe they got old outdated ones. It's not working. It's time to turn those in. If you own a home, it's the same thing. Go fix that stuff. It really, really makes a huge, huge difference. Save money on gas. Well, I don't know how to save money on gas, but I'll tell you this, just like travel, anything else. If you use a credit card, if you go to the same gas station, maybe go get a gas card to that station or do some research saying if I spend $1, I'll get back. So number one, go get a gas card where potentially you can use the same card, the same place. You'll get rewards that way. Number two, here in San Diego, for example, California, we have places like Vons or Ralph's. You can go and shop there. Then they give you $1 off, 10 cents off, whatever gas. You can save that way as well. Obviously, if you don't want to pay gas, then drive an electric vehicle. For crying out loud, that's easy hack, as we all know. And last but not least, it's windows, right? New windows, insulating your ceiling, your roofs like that. It could save you so much money over the long run. And remember, look at your local stuff, the federal grants, maybe upgrading your house, energy efficient. They can give you money for all that stuff. Put solar on on the roof, all that stuff. You guys know, insulation, new windows, all that stuff can really, really change your house and your bills. There's a few ways. The 21 dumbest ways we keep spending money. Those are a few that I liked. Okay, last but not least, I've got one more article about how we're destroying our homes. I like this one a lot this week. Is a lot about home buyers. Let's get into it. But these are 7 common things. Look, you might be getting ready to sell your home, buy a home. And if you're looking to get a deal on a home, if you're seeing if somebody knocks all 7 of these, this is why you should be getting a discount on the home. But if you're also looking to, hey, I'm going to sell my home and I'm going to trade up to a bigger home, you should also be really paying attention to these so you can get your home in order. Because if they're not, somebody is going to ask you for a price reduction if this shit is not done or if this stuff is not done. Okay, number 1, neglecting maintenance. You guys know what I mean. You walk to somebody's house, you're like, bro, how about you clean that? Bro, you need to clean that. You need to dust there. You need to repaint your fence. You need to do some touch-up paint. Like, take care of your house. Take care of your shit. Number 2, over-personalize your home. Oh my gosh, this one is unbelievable. You ever drive up by somebody's house, you're like, that's cool, but who's gonna buy that? Like the house is like purple or pink, or you walk in, you're like, man, who designed this? Like, I've been to a lot of properties, it's painful. Remember, when you buy a home, you also might have to sell it. So if you go too custom, too personalized, you will get screwed in the end when you sell it. Trust me, You know what I'm talking about. And if you're okay with it, you're okay with it. Curb appeal. This is the most easy thing ever. Let me give you an example. Okay, curb appeal. I'm gonna talk about rent. I don't care if you're selling a home, if you're renting a property, this. We had a client that decided to redo an apartment building, right? And he did the inside, not the outside. And I said, no, when you buy an apartment building, you always right away do the outside of the building. Because if somebody drives up to buy your house, rent your house, the first thing they're gonna do is somebody could pull up to go to a showing. They're like, this place is a dump, I'm out of here. So for rental, I told them, people drive up, the outside looked terrible. They'd walk in, go, the units are nice, but they're like, how do I know if you're gonna fix the outside? And they didn't like it, so people were leaving. What I do is I always do the outside of an apartment building or a house, right? I'm just giving you this perspective. People drive up like, oh, this is nice. And I had the one unit they're looking at, it was redone. They did not know if all the units were nice or unnice. They didn't care. The outside looked nice, landscaping looked nice, it was painted nice, beautiful, all new stuff. Everybody's like, even the blinds and the windows I would change to all looking nice and new. And then when they walked in their unit, they didn't know if that one was the only one. And guess what? We would rent the unit. So curb appeal matters so much more than you know. People are emotional when they're buying primary residences. Do not forget that. DIY beyond your abilities. Yes, we always say, did Larry the cable guy do this, do that, do the wall? You walk in here, you're like, who did that wall? Who put that door in? Who hung that lighting fixture? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, who fixed that wall or something, whatever it is? Guys, if you can do the easy stuff, fine. But if it looks terrible, what do you think someone thinks when they come in to buy your home? Same reaction. Failing to make an energy efficient home. Look, I will say this. You're selling a home, you're selling an investment property, you're selling a commercial property. If you went in there and got solar and did all the LED and did the insulation and did the drip on the yard and all that stuff, what you've done is when somebody buys that house, they'll pay you a premium because they come right in, they don't have to do anything, and they know you've set up a house where they're right off the bat are going to save money on electricity, water, gas, the whole thing. If you save them money, that property is more valuable to the new buyer. End of story, end of period. Don't want to hear about it. So make sure the low-hanging fruit is do the energy efficient stuff, because the next buyer they're going to have to do it. They're going to expect a price reduction if they have to do it. Number 6, adding unpermitted units. It's very common here. Adding a new bathroom, converting the garage, all that stuff. Look, you can do it, but don't expect if it's unpermitted to permit, you're gonna get the same amount. You shouldn't, because how do you know it was done properly? And that person still has to go through the permit process, which they could get denied, get it, and they may have to make changes. Look, you and I know if you have a house with an ADU and the ADU is legal or unlegal, it technically, to the lender, to the buyer, to everybody, it's more valuable if it's legal because the financing, the whole thing. You get it, right? So if you're gonna do it, just get the damn permits. Last but not least is unrealistic prices. This has nothing to do with the house. This has to do with you thinking your house is worth $1 million when it should be sold for $900,000, and you're wasting everybody's time. So don't make that mistake after all these other 6 mistakes. And then you go, oh, my house is worth $1 million, when you're like, actually, no, it would be worth $1 million if you did all this stuff, but it's actually worth $900 or $850 because you neglected it and you don't do this, you didn't do that. So be conscious, listen to real estate agents. This article was from a real estate agent, and I think they're right on. I think they're smart. I love all 7. So if you're looking to sell, get in there, get this stuff done. Look, yeah, I'd rather you go rack up the credit card, go get a 0% interest credit card, go to Home Depot, get this stuff fixed, the low-hanging fruit stuff, because when you sell, you can make yourself $50,000, $100,000 more like that. Because remember, when people buy your home, they're more emotional, they're looking for these low-hanging fruits, and they want to make sure this stuff's done, because if they have to do it, they want a price reduction, because now they have to deal with the headache, the issues, and if you just do it, they'll pay you for it. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching this week. A lot of stuff about homes, a lot of stuff about what's going on in our economy. But remember, this week's all about the feds talking, not much data. We'll continue to watch. We'll continue to monitor. I appreciate you guys watching. Share this video with somebody. If you want to reach me, you know how to do that. But hey, appreciate you watching. Have a great week. Talk to you guys.